Bella was busy. Did you call all these people or it was just out of Zillow?
Some of them I called.
Okay. Can you show me the ones you called? Okay.
Yeah, so it's just really.
That's good. We got a couple of workers.
Yeah, that's good.
What's everybody do in Texas on a Saturday afternoon? Nobody's home. Go to meetings?
That's the thing that gets me all the time, these FISBOs. They have a house for sale, but they don't answer their phone. It's like, really?
Okay.
All right, this
Sal's
house,
got one here.
they're asking for 40. We have an estimate around 243 at the most.
That's what I asked you.
It's vacant.
Right.
It's a house.
They just remodeled.
How long have they been here?
This is their in-law, and this is their in-law house. So they bought this
Yeah, look
one.
here. I do.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't live here no more.
All right. This property is their in-law house. He bought it from their in-law, so he fixed it up nice and new. So he put this back on the for listing to sell the house for $240.
They did a bunch of changes.
Yes, is I put everything in here. Oh, there's attachment. Oh, it's, I think it's 3 to 4, 3 bath, 3 bed, 2 bath, 2 car garage. Square feet is about 1,500 square feet. It's in a nice district, in Marcus High School district.
Rents are $16.50.
Right.
Granbury. Not Granbury.
All right, so they're asking 240. You know, here's another trick I do too with some sellers. It's worth about 243. We know he'll take 240. I'll go in and I'll say, you know, I like it. I can see what I can do with it. I need an agreement to buy it so that I can take it back to my funding sources for approval. But I don't think I can do 240. How about 245?
There you go.
That's what you're gonna say?
Absolutely. Yeah, sure.
I know he'll take 240. So what do I care what I put on there? I'm trying to make him happy. I'm trying to think he's dealing with an idiot. I'm paying more, right?
Right.
So I do that a lot. I'll offer them $5,000 more than what they want. And they're like, well, yeah, that'll work. I'm like, okay. I said, you know, because I really need to make you happy first. If I can make you happy, I'll be happy. Because they'll say, well, then how are you going to make any money with this thing? And I said, well, I get paid for my funders. So let's start with 245 and see what we got. I said, they may come back at 245. They may come back at less than 245. They may want to do something creative. I don't know. But let's start with 245 and see if I can get you more for it than what you want.
But did you hear what he said? Well, and go through the things that you said. May get them. I may get you to.
But yeah, well, you know, I have no idea what my funders are going to do. They may give us the 245. They may come in at 240 or less or whatever. I don't know. Something less than 245. They may say, well, we'd like to do it, but we'd like to do it with some creative terms. Or they may say, we're not interested in funding. I don't know. Until I submit a signed sales agreement with you to them. That starts the process. Okay.
So he set up their expectations, right?
Yeah.
Could be one of 4 things.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's one of 4 things that's going to happen here. And I don't know what they're gonna do. I mean, like the $400,000 house, I said, my guys have done some weirder things. I said, I don't know, let's see what we can do with it. You know, I said, I can't even begin to tell you if I have anybody that would fund it without a signed sales agreement first. So let's get that taken out of the way, and then let's see what they say. Can't promise him. I'm not gonna promise him. Okay. Yeah, call him up. And you've talked to him, so just tell him that, hey, Randall, you and John, and he's trying to coordinate the funds for you on your project. John has some questions.
Hi, Randall. This is Isabella. Remember we spoke a couple of days ago? Yes. Here I have John on the call with him. He's trying to coordinate my fund for me, and he has a couple of questions for you.
Okay.
Hi, Randall. How you doing today?
I'm just fine.
Good, yeah. Isabel, she came to me, she's thinking about possibly trying to purchase her property, and I usually do the coordinating for funding, and would like to see if maybe we can put something together for her and you.
Okay.
All right, so now this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because we weren't sure, she didn't have that on the sheet here for me, and I wanted to just verify that. Okay, and you guys have done you've rehabbed the house, it's in great shape, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Good. And let's see, it's 1565 square feet. And there's no HOA or association fees? No? All right, okay. And you're looking for a price of
240.
240.
240.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. If I believe she should be able to do something, but I want her to definitely come see it. And and if she likes what she sees, then what I will need from the two of you is an agreement to buy the property, and we'll go with 240 at this point. And then I can submit that to our sources for funds. And my guys will do one of 4 things. They'll fund it at full face value, maybe a little less than face value, maybe with creative terms, or they'll say we're not interested in funding it. But whatever we find for funding, we'll send back to the two of you so that you can determine whether or not it's acceptable to you. And if so, we'll schedule the closing. Does that sound okay to you?
Sounds good. Can I exactly what I'm trying to understand what your role is? Are you a officer, or what exactly happens to be?
Well, I'm not with a conventional funding source. We use a lot of we use a lot of non-conventional funding sources, such as private money, hard money, IRA money, that kind of stuff, and other sources. Sometimes I can even check and see. I might have someone who just wants to. They like it and they want it, and they'll just say, hey, let me buy it and move into it. And I'm like, we don't care because we're trying to buy the place, and
Sure, yeah.
there's no cost to you. So I mean, it's a great way to do things, and we've done a lot of deals this way. So if I can, I'll get her to schedule something for her to take a look at it, and then if it looks like something we want to do, let's go ahead and get the agreement signed so I can get it out there. and see what I can find.
Okay, that'll be great. Just to let you know, I do live an hour away, but I do plan on being over on that Monday. I've got at least one, maybe two more showings. So Monday be a great day,
Okay?
if that works.
Yeah, Monday at what time?
I got one at 11, I got one at 4, so somewhere in the middle.
11 a.m. in the morning?
Yes, ma'am. Well, no, I have an appointment at 11 and at 4, so it could be 1 o'clock, could be 10 o'clock.
1 o'clock sounds good on Monday.
Okay, 1 o'clock will be fine then.
Yeah, I will confirm, I will text you or call you and let you know, okay?
Okay,
All
all
right,
right, that'll be
sounds
great.
good. Thank you, Randall.
Thanks,
All right, looking
Randall.
forward to seeing you then.
Thank
All right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your time.
Oh, yeah.
All right, have a wonderful day.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye-bye.
That's as easy.
You see how he, seriously? 90% of your calls will be like that. Did John explain it to him?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anybody that feels that he didn't?
Did I, what's some of the things that people say? Bait and switch.
No.
You were on. It's
I
your
tell
turn.
people if I bait and switch, realtors do it all day long. It's called counter offer. That could be considered a bait and switch, right? So we don't. It's no bait and switch. What we're doing is we're negotiating the deal, and it's with the seller and our funding.
So that was just very non-threatening, it was very explanatory, very clear.
Very
Yes.
calm, very,
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I
see,
mean-
when he came at me, what's your, position in this? Are you a loan officer?
Yeah.
And I just explained to him, no,
and did you hear he was funding coordinator?
Yeah.
Okay, so, I mean, just, that's the perfect, normal kind of call that we.
Yeah, that was a good call.
Yeah,
Real good.
yes.
So in a situation like that where it's already been rehabbed, have you already seen pictures?
I have seen the picture.
So when y'all, just like y'all don't see many of the properties and you virtually just kind of close it,
Look at
couldn't she just DocuSign the agreement over? And
No. The reason you can't DocuSign is, can you notarize the memorandum?
Well, the memorandum, well, not with that seller, no, you can't.
That's why you can't DocuSign.
So you have to proceed and let them sign that to be legal.
Yes, now you can use the DocuSign to get the agreement signed, but as far as the memorandum, you have to have a notary. So if your acquisitionist is a notary, or if you're going to use a virtual notary, I mean, there's, I think Virginia, the state of Virginia can notarize virtually across the country now.
And Washington is just implementing it.
They're
State
just
of
getting
Washington's
started,
just
yeah.
So what we
But
do have.
wait, before we go any further, so we make sure we understand that. But for you, you're going to, since you don't have an acquisitionist, so you're going to be going, so you're going to have to either bring a notary with you, or you're going to have to go meet him somewhere where he can get it notarized, okay?
So he has to notarize in person.
Yes.
Yes.
Or virtually. You can do it virtually with your computer. You can do it that way too.
Yeah, as long as it's a notary
It
that
has
can
to
do
be
that.
correct. And they're in Virginia, and Washington State is just now doing it too.
So when she goes Monday, is she taking the agreement on Monday?
I should. but-
I typically do, but you could do it in 2 visits. You could go look at it and then go back and create the agreement, and then go back a second time with a notary or wherever you're going to get the notary there. But I typically take the agreement with me. When I take the agreement with me, it's filled out with everything except the price, because he may change his mind, right?
So leave that blank first, right?
Leave the price blank. You fill in the rest, but the price is blank. And then I'll say, okay, I'm interested. Are you interested in signing the agreement? We can get this done and get it started. Sit down. I'll say, no, what was your best price again? And he may come down. He may go up. I don't care. whatever he wants, we're gonna put on there, okay? And then anything you handwrite, all parties initial. Okay, you know that?
Handwritten.
Anything handwritten, initial.
Or strike out, anything you strike
Or you
out.
strike out, yeah.
Initial date for both
Yes.
parties.
Correct. Well, and again, when you get there Monday, we gotta find out, is it just his wife, him, or is it his wife and him on the deed? Because if his wife's on there and she's not there, then you're going out a second time.
Right.
Because they both have to be there to sign.
He lives
No.
far away, so she's probably not gonna be
She probably will not be there, but hopefully she's not on the deed.
She lives an hour, they said that he lives an hour away, I think he said.
So with saying that, number one, he's not driving back most of the time.
Right.
So I would take the agreement, but that memorandum here in Dallas on a wholesale dealing way, I can just go and file a memorandum and I don't need the seller to sign it.
No.
But that's not what they're
No.
teaching.
I want the seller to sign the memorandum too. That way, there's no question whatsoever how that got on the deed.
Gotcha.
See?
Legal and compliant, guys.
Yeah, because, I mean, I could file a memorandum on every single property in town myself, but that is not a good practice. Okay, you want to have the seller sign it too. That way, there's no questions that the seller didn't know that I filed something against the property. See, that's a huge one, guys. Make sure you're getting the seller to sign it too. You're going to save yourself a lot of headaches down the road.
Yes. Yes.
So you having the seller to sign the agreement before you know how the property is going to be purchased, whether you're going to do terms.
Right.
In this particular case.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is what we do. I mean, you get the agreement to buy for cash. Okay, so whatever the price is what the seller wants. Get the agreement. Now we look at the funders that we've collected, see what would fit. If nothing fits, then we're gonna have to put it out to the world that, hey, we have an agreement, and see who comes in that is interested in this property. And then work the deal from there. We're gonna have to renegotiate this. This is basically a REACT deal because he's not motivated. He wants full retail, right? So, we just gotta get the agreement first. That gives us that equitable interest in the property so we can do what we do legally and then see what we can find for funding.
So you don't need to know if he will accept terms before you get the agreement?
No.
I don't even want to know. If he tells me he'll accept terms, I'll stop him dead in his tracks. Because I don't want him to dictate to me. He wants 50% down and this big payment every month and all that stuff. I'll stop him dead and I'll say, look, that's great, you can do terms. But I don't know if I need terms. Let me see what my funders want to do. They may want to pay you full cash. They may want to pay you maybe a little less than full cash. They may want to do terms. Whatever they say, I'll bring back to you, and then you and I can decide if it's agreeable to both of us, then we can close. That way I can create the terms to go back to him with. And the terms I'm going to create, number one, are going to be acceptable for me to stay in the deal. And if I can't get him for that and I got to give up, then I'll let my funder go into the deal with the seller and just take my release fee.
We don't want the seller dictating the terms to us.
So we want to give them the option, not them giving us.
Correct.
Right?
Right. It depends. We may not even
We may
find
not
an
even,
option.
yeah, we may not even be doing terms.
Yeah. Remember, only about 5% of what we're doing today is terms. It's either someone who's going to move into the property that has cash or someone who's going to move into the property that can get a loan.
But the most important thing about that is if they say that they will do terms, keep that in your mind because that means you're probably staying in the deal, okay? But you don't have to negotiate those terms right then and there because you don't even know what your funders are going to do,
Right.
okay?
Yeah, I found years ago when we'd try to, at the kitchen table, try and figure out 3 different offers, you know, and they're telling, well, I'll do seller financing and it's gonna be this, so I want this big chunk of money down and I want this monthly payment, and it's like, how am I gonna do that? You know, and we didn't do the deals. But then when we figured out, let's do it this way instead, then it was like, okay, now we can do deals.
And remember, we're doing these examples today, but what do we tell you we prefer you're doing? You're finding the funders first and then getting properties, right?
It's easier, but it's not always the way it happens.
Right.
So,
You'll get properties all
yeah, you'll get properties all the time. Especially when you're riding around and you see a FSBO sign, you're gonna call. So you're always gonna be feeding that list of agreements that you have. I would say it's easier if you have probably 15 to 20 under agreement at any given time. And you're building that funder list at the same time. Because now you bring in a funder who can do X, Y, Z, and you've got 15 to 20 already under agreement. You know, you plug them in like we did. Okay? So, but, you know, if you only got one or two, that's fine. But the thing, here's another thing. Don't just get one agreement and stop dead in your tracks until you either move that agreement or it expires. So many newbies do that. They think, I gotta get this one done, I gotta get this one done. And what if I don't get it done? You know, I told them I would do this. Well, number one mistake, you told them you would do it. Because we don't promise that we're gonna close. We explain to them what we're gonna do. And that it may, if I get satisfactory funding, it will close. If I can't get satisfactory funding, I can't close. Okay, so you don't set their expectations up that this is definitely closing the end of the month. Make sense?
It's all in how you posture yourself, guys. And you heard what John said. That was non-threatening. It was very simple, but it's exactly how we do it all the time. And he was very amenable to it.
Yeah, he was open, very open.
Didn't want to have their name on it.
Regarding notary, as of 2 days ago, I have a notary in my office now, and we may be putting together a mobile notary capability for you, so
There you go.
Be
keep in
phenomenal.
mind if you need that type of service, especially in
Great.
Tarrant, Morgan County.
Great.
So you can't be your own notary, because that's
No,
not what everyone's
unfortunately, yeah. Yeah. But the other thing you can do, I mean, if you're in different areas, either your attorney's office, because we go to our attorney's office, they'll notarize our not equity trust, but our IRA company that's local. They let us bring people in, they'll do it there. The banks, some banks will. Our Bank of America will, but some banks will not. UPS stores,
FedEx,
Yeah.
Staples,
Yeah.
Office Depot.
whatever's
Office.
convenient for the seller, because you don't want you want it to be easy. So the easiest thing you can do for the seller.
I try to make it look as legit as possible, you know, so doing it at McDonald's anymore, we don't do that. Although we have. So,
But once you have an acquisitionist, once you get to your business where you have an acquisitionist, they need to be a notary, because then it's a simple,
Slam
yes.
dunk. Slam
Yeah,
dunk.
they go, get the agreement, notarize it, boom, yes.
all right,
Okay,
good job.
awesome.
So if your acquisitions person does it, your signature is already on it?
No, we have, our forms have 2 areas for the notary to fill out.
Okay.
Okay, so they'll fill the first one out with the seller's information, then they bring it back, we sign, and it gets notarized again.
And then you file it for record.
Correct. Then once it gets recorded, well, first off, once it gets notarized, then we wait 3 days. Because they can change their mind,
Right, rescission.
right, a rescission on a contract. So we wait 3 days. Once the 3 days goes by, then we record it. Do you have that?
That's just what you're doing. We don't have that.
Yeah, we don't
We
have.
don't have that?
Contract wall? No?
Really?
Okay. We
Nice.
wait 3 days because they can change their mind.
So we do it right away?
No,
We're saying?
you can
You
report
can.
it right
Yeah,
away.
you can report it right away.
Excellent.
Okay, good.
The only way you can do change of mind is we have a 3-day trade when they're getting financing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No wonder you guys got lease options.
So they can change their mind, yeah.
You know, you
They're
should-
buying.
Right, yeah, I'll tell you.
Tim, can you check and see how they're doing with that call? They're,
I think they got it done.
they're still in the film, good, okay.
Yeah,
All right,
that's
do you-
working out good, I think.
Do you guys want to hear one more?
Yes.
Okay, do you have another one we can
One
go?
more?
Yeah.
And did
Nobody
you
else
talk
brought
to
any,
them?
right?
Yes, I talked to them.
Okay.
This one is like overpriced.
That's okay.
They're asking more than what it's worth?
Yeah, they say the maximum for it, the value for it is 3 to 7.
Where are you getting your values?
I'm from Zillow.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's have a little talk about that.
Yes.
Lisa about choked herself.
We didn't hear you here.
Zillow.
Zillow.
Zillow's estimate.
His estimate.
Oh, she got the property from Zillow.
No, we're looking at the estimated
From
value.
Zillow, not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Potential.
This, just so everybody understands that, because not everybody has done deals in here. That is a fairly inaccurate accounting of the value of the property, okay? Now, down here, is it, like, how far off is it usually on an average?
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit?
50K, that's.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about Realtor.com? Is it more accurate?
No, you really need to run comps. You really need to run comps.
Part of the membership benefit is you
Yes.
get 6 months
And that's
of
freaking
MLS
amazing.
comps as a member. So
Yeah, that's freaking amazing.
That's good.
That in and of itself is worth it to you, because once you run the comps
Absolutely.
and have a better accurate amount, it helps you immensely when you're doing this.
Okay,
Although,
so,
sorry, I was just gonna say, although to us, it doesn't much really
Doesn't matter.
because we're gonna get the agreement for whatever they're asking, okay? And if
what's
they're,
the real value of a property?
Whatever someone's willing to pay.
Yeah, so we don't care what they want, get the agreement. See? Because like I explained to that last guy, our funding sources will do this.
as if we have a cash buyer, does it matter?
no.
It matters zero. If it's a cash
You
buyer.
guys are advanced, that's why. But my funding list is limited.
How do you know you're not gonna have a cash buyer?
Yeah. So like I said, I haven't built as much. So I'm newbie on this.
Yeah,
So
you
that's
are
why
newbie.
I'm gonna
That's
have
it.
a hard time finding my funders. So even though I
How's she
have a
gonna
house.
They're everywhere.
Help her, guys. She gonna have a hard time finding funders?
Not at all.
haven't tried, you will when you learn their strategies.
You're not gonna have a hard
You're
time.
gonna do some more online marketing, you're gonna maybe put it on the MLS.
Is this a good area?
Yes, this is a good area.
What's this called? What area is this called?
Not Richland Hills.
Richland Hills?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding.
Slam dunk.
Good area.
Damn.
Yeah. But here's the thing. See, I can see you guys that get it, you realtors that are getting it, because what they do is almost exactly the same thing on the realtor side, but from the investor side, this just opened up a whole new world to them.
And you've talked to them, but you haven't seen it.
No, I haven't seen it, but I saw the picture and everything. It
Okay.
was good, and like they mentioned, no repairs needed.
Okay.
So this one, they just
Good,
want to.
good condition.
Right, good condition, no repairs needed. They just need to expand out, get a bigger place. They want to be out in the country, have a bigger space for themselves. So
Gotcha.
that's why they're selling this house.
Okay, 2,000 square foot small.
Yeah.
You're right.
They just want to be in the quiet countryside.
They want probably want some land.
Private lands, yes.
Okay, let's call them up. Let them know that, you talked to them. John's here, he's trying to figure out how I can get this property funded.
Everybody hanging in there?
Yes.
Okay.
Is this stuff good?
Yes. Very much.
What's the other thing called?
Go ahead.
After that.
Oh.
Isabel's gonna be a rock star.
Hello, is this Michael? Hi, Michael. This is Isabella. We spoke last night. Yes. How are you today?
Doing wonderful.
Oh, good. I'm doing good. I have John on the phone with me. He's my funding coordinator, and he has some questions for you. Is that a good time to talk right now?
Sure.
All right.
Hi, Michael.
Look, Jim.
Hey, we're trying to figure out if, in the first place, it's possible for her to fund this deal, because you know, I do the funding coordinating for several people, and what we're trying to figure out is, you know, we were looking right now at some comps through Zillow, and the comps are not giving us what we need. However, that's not stopping us. We want, because that's Zillow, and we need to do real comps, not Zillow. But the main thing is, I would like for her to come out and take a look at the place, and you know, if she likes it, which from what I see, I think she will. She wants to see if maybe she can purchase the property. So what I do is, again, I coordinate the funding, and we would just need a price from you that you're looking for, so that we can get an agreement together. If she likes the place, get an agreement together, submit it to my sources for funds, and see what we can do to get it closed. Does that sound like something you might be interested in?
Trying to figure out is there a price already on Zillow?
I believe it was somewhere, let's see. Was that the asking 320?
Yes.
Okay, so that's.
Yeah, you want me to come up with another price?
Well, no, I mean, is that your best cash price?
Yeah, yes, sir. We'll talk about cash.
Okay.
So we're flexible up here with our website. So we're flexible on there.
Well, why don't we do it this way? Why don't I have her make an appointment with you to come out and take a look at it? And if she's interested, then at that time, you guys can have some, you know, would have had some time to think of a price, and we can get an agreement at that time if she wants to pursue it.
Sounds good to me.
Awesome. Okay. Now I will let you know I'm not conventional funding coordinator with a bank or a credit union. We do a lot of non-conventional funding, such as private money, IRA money, hard money, that kind of stuff. And we might even have you know, someone who funds deals for us that may even want to move in and live in the place. So I don't know, but they'll of course have the funds to buy. So I just want to let you know that that's what I do. My guys will fund the deal at full face value, less than face value, maybe offer you something creative. They may even say, "No, we're not interested." So whatever we do find, we bring back to you, and if it's acceptable, then we can get it closed. Okay. Awesome. So I'll let you two talk, and you can schedule, you know, her coming to take a look at the place, and then we can take it from there and see what happens.
Sounds good. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Michael. Thank you.
All right. Okay, Michael.
Take care, John.
All right.
You
You
too.
too. Bye-bye.
Good job.
Very threatening.
Very threatening.
I got a feeling he may have some questions when she gets there.
He's gonna have a couple questions, and that's okay.
And just explain to him what I just said. Now, if you become a member, you'll have that letter that,
When you become a member.
yeah, when and Marla's waiting back here for you. But you'll have the letter to give to him too, that explains how we do things, what our funders do. And that's what I would give him.
Do you realize, I mean,
Here's what John's doing.
that's a fraction of a deal, $24.97, guys. It's a fraction of a deal. Yes?
Yes.
I hope so.
Okay?
Okay.
We'll make some money.
How'd we do out there on the phone call?
You guys made it. You got 2 out of 2.
2 out of 2. How'd you guys do?
We may have something going on. I will jump out
Okay.
more because it was good conversation. However, there's some new developments.
New developments. Ooh, okay.
Well, here's the deal. But John can say more about it. Is even seller, he's not sure if he signed listing agreement already or not. And I said Monday might be because the agent told me that he might maybe sign a contract. And so now, kind of confused me too. He's saying, I don't know if I sign listing agreement. It's kind of, I don't know. He's looking, but we may have agreement.
You can get out of
We
it.
agreed on terms almost completely, but if there's agreement, listing agreement, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, it'll be up to John if he wants to play with it with a listing.
Yeah, no, I mean, he knows, the seller knows, he can't make the deal with us if it's listed. It just falls completely out, our offer is out. But that's kind of funny, you don't know.
He doesn't know if
He
he
doesn't
signed
know.
a
That
listing?
tells me he signed it.
Okay, John, fill us in.
Okay.
Wait on you.
Okay. They drink a lot of water.
Did you have to go to the bathroom or something? Everybody's sitting here with bated breath waiting for you.
Oh man, sorry. Yeah, so 2 things with that deal, and when it came down to it, I asked if it's still for sale. He said yes, and then had a long, lengthy conversation about. It wasn't lengthy. I mean, it's just a few minutes, but I let him know how we work, and I let him know the process and the time frame I'm thinking. He says, "Well, it's going to be done and cashed out by the end of the month." And I was like, "So you're giving me 21 days essentially?" And he said, "Yes." At that price, yes. And I was like, "Okay, well, if it takes longer than 21 days, are you saying you don't want to sell to me?" And they said, "Well, no, but we have a reason that has to be cashed out in that time frame." And I said, "Okay," and I tried to lengthen it, and I said, "Well, I can get it under agreement for that, and then we can reassess if it's not cashed out in the time frame." So we can at least get an agreement and see if I can get a closing date with funding, and it would most likely be okay. But the second issue was, he says he's not sure if it's listed or he signed a listing agreement or not. How
It's
he
like
doesn't,
11 pages
That's
long.
absurd.
how
could
he
you
doesn't
not
know
sign
if
it?
he signed that or not is,
It'll be-
so he said, "I'll have to look into that and get back to you." So I told him to get back with Zoran and see if he's got a listing agreement.
I really doubt he really does. Maybe he had something verbally, because I had an agent, like I said, he didn't confirm that he has it. So I think my understanding was they're gonna talk Monday again about it, which means they don't have it in hand.
I'd make sure he knows not to sign anything until you
Oh, I
guys.
think he knows now.
Yeah, he knows now.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, yeah,
I'm sure John
'cause
didn't let him.
he said, so if it's listed with an agent, and I said, no, I buy about 5 properties a month with my funding partners, and we deal directly with the homeowner. It saves us money and you money by not having the agent fees on there. And he's strictly aware that I want it without a realtor attached to it. So, yes. Sir.
I was about to say about, as far as it being with a realtor, you only have to do 2 things to get out of an agreement. You send an email to the agent and an email to the broker, and they don't have to respond. Time you click send.
Really? That's
Yes.
Texas too?
Yeah.
Come on down.
I'm telling you.
What about the, like, a 36-hour time limit or anything, or 10
Yeah, but
days?
the termination agreement is only if either agent showed the property to that person. Otherwise, once that email is clicked on seen, and you say, I no longer need your services, I'm fired.
Easy breezy.
Take that one.
Yeah.
I like that. Finally,
I
something.
don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that.
We have to do 10 days. In Pennsylvania, we have to
Depends on which
notify
side
the
of the game.
broker.
Lisa, you saying
So-
that you see something?
Food for thought, I don't like 21-day agreements. I typically get 90
Yeah.
days, 3 months on mine.
Yeah, I get 6, but sometimes the realtors, and I've seen personally that they put clause that you have to wait 90 days, 30 days, I've seen all that stuff after cancellation, that you can release
But if
it.
that's in it,
That won't stand in court, number
Oh,
one.
that's
Number
a protection
two,
period.
It's
And we have
only
to
based
show.
on if I show the interested party that's purchasing
Yeah,
from the new
that's
person.
different, that's a buyer's
Yeah.
agreement, yeah.
Yeah, and I can see if you show the interested party, I mean,
Correct.
definitely see that, but.
I also have done shorter agreements, but that's whenever I had my funding partner. Like I have one funder that she buys several properties. She bought 3 properties in one day from me, and she puts them back out on these options.
What was her name?
Yeah.
What was her name?
Contact info.
That was a good one, I like that. What was her name? Okay, so,
Lacey's her name.
Lacey, Lacey.
It's
So
true.
the one thing I would say about what they told you is, about the 21 days is that, based on what I think I heard on the explanation of the condition of the house, you need to make sure that the seller is really thinking about, will the market today's, by listing it, sell that house in 21 days?
Yeah, that's what I mentioned.
Correct.
Because if
What's-
he lists, it takes him 15 days to sell it, and another at least 15 days, maybe even 45 days to then
close
close
it.
it.
Right.
Correct.
So that's something that the seller needs to be aware of, is the market may not, it may get a buyer, but will they close in the 21 days?
That's a good point. I was gonna start talking about with, as soon as he says, I may have it listed. And I was like, well, okay, well, this is the first thing we need to find out.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah. But that's a good point. I will ask him that.
but every day that goes by is one day less.
That's
So-
right.
I'm wondering if he has a hard money lender on it, and his time frame's coming to an end.
Who, the owner?
Yeah.
He said free
Free and clear.
Very clear.
He
Oh,
confirmed.
I did ask
He
him
just
needs the money.
if he has to have all the funds up front.
and
He does.
And I think,
The
like I
wife
said,
said she does.
the wife.
They were both on the phone.
The wife's buying something.
so, yeah, she's actually like, we just heard that, and the agent told me that I think they are buying new house in different location.
So they've already found the house.
I think
There's the
that's
21 days,
exactly,
guys.
so-
They need a down payment.
And that might
It's all
be the
coming
reason
together.
why they
Need
have
down
closed,
payment.
but that because they have closed another house and using funds.
Yeah,
She
that's
didn't
probably-
say that, but I think he did mention that something.
There's a little bit of a language barrier because I
Yeah.
was having like really put my ear to the phone to understand them.
Gotcha.
Very likely
Cool
they've already
stuff.
found the other house, and that's, yeah.
Cool. Thank you, sir.
Awesome.
Okay. Guys, I think we've shown you there's value in what we do.
Isabella just reminded me of what else I was going to say about Zillow. We already talked about how unreliable the number is, right? What's the other problem with relying on Zillow without seeing the house? Pictures. I heard you say the house is in great condition. Well, trust me, what you see on Google and Zillow and stuff isn't necessarily today's picture. So just be aware that what you see may not be what you get.
That's the one thing they teach you realtors is how to make crap look like beauty.
Yeah,
mean,
take a picture or whatever in, right?
Well, I mean, a lot of them just old, so. But anyway, just something to be aware of.
I'm a little confused because like earlier when you said, I don't have to see it.
Right.
I don't care what it's like. And then when he said, I when we were passing through Dallas or somewhere, and we got off and go there and, basically push it over with my hand or whatever, if they didn't look at it, then I'm confused.
But it was already done, that was already a done deal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The one you did?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I already cashed out and made 10 grand by the time I
Yeah.
saw it.
Right, I'm saying, what's the difference between us seeing it
Okay,
now?
you're starting out.
Okay.
I want you to go see it.
Okay,
I want you to build that little rapport with the seller.
okay.
That, because you came out, you took the time to look at it and say, yep, it meets my criteria. Now, what's my criteria? There needs to be a structure on the property.
It's true. Yeah.
I mean, I've done the leaning tower pizza, I mean, there's gotta be a structure. If it's vacant land, I'm not doing it today.
Oh.
Now, maybe by the end of the year, I may switch that, and of course, that'll be in the what's new tab. But right now, we're not doing vacant land. It's looking better and better for it, but not right yet.
That's something we haven't touched on too, is how many of you are working the war zone currently, or do you have war zone? No war zones?
Yeah, we do.
Yes, you have war zones? Okay. What is a war zone?
No, no.
High crime rates.
High crime rate areas.
Drug infested, crime infested.
Okay, so, are you guys gonna, how many are working currently in the war zones? Okay. All right. Y'all should be working in the war zone.
Really?
Why?
Why?
Because it's
Why?
going to get redrenched.
You're never gonna go there.
Yeah, you don't go there.
You're never gonna go to the war zone, so why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you do a deal there if you don't have to go there?
Who's gonna go?
Fire.
The funder.
Soldiers.
Soldiers! The soldiers are gonna go there. The warriors. Yes, guys. You're not gonna go there, your funders are gonna go there. They're gonna tell you if they want it or don't want it.
Right.
I don't care what it looks like.
We don't care.
There's a water line here. I found some good property over
Good.
there. And
It's
it's
all good property.
they're rebuilding.
I know about it. I know about
See, here's the thing with the war zone, like our war zone in Pennsylvania, if we have one, it's on this one street, that over time, we've probably owned the whole street. But, the thing of it is, you don't have to go there. All you have to do is get the agreements to buy there. Then, our houses in the war zone up there are probably 100, 150 years old. That's a typical house for us up there. Every time you open up a wall, you open up a can of worms, because you don't know what you're going to find. So, do we want to mess with those? No. Somebody for the past 100, 150 years has owned those properties. Somebody will own them again. So why can't we get an agreement to buy them and find somebody to buy that property? Now, who's going to buy those properties?
Who's buying those properties? Slumlords, there it is.
You got it.
That's exactly right. How do we find out who the slumlords are that own properties in that area?
Call.
Absentee owner? What else? How are we gonna find them? How are we gonna find the
Full
landlords?
cash buyers list in the area.
Full cash buyer list in the area?
What we do is, we'll look at the property address, and we'll go a couple blocks out and look at the tax rolls and see who owns more than one. Those are your landlords. Okay? I did one up there where the seller wanted, I think it was $12,000 for the property. And I went in and I said, can't do it, man. About 19.
Stop.
I'm doing this with a straight face.
Yes, he does do it with a straight face.
And he said,
What do you think he said?
Are you brain damaged?
Are you brain damaged? Do you think he said yes?
Yes.
Yeah, he said the word before you.
Yeah. And I said, well, we gotta do it my way.
There's the important part.
I said, we gotta do it my way. Now you gotta remember, a $12,000 property in the war zone is probably free and clear. Okay? So, I said, we gotta do it my way, man. He said, what's your way? And I said, well, let me call you back in an hour or two, and I'll give you some numbers, and we can go from there. He said, okay. Because I didn't want to do it right then and there, because now I'm under pressure to come up with the offer. So yeah, I could probably screw it up. So I went back and I said, okay, look, the rents for the place would probably be, I forget, this amount. The taxes, the insurance, this amount. And then I look at, okay, if I give him, I said, if I give him $250 a month, and it'll still cash flow after paying taxes and insurance of maybe $300 a month. Do you think a landlord would want that? Yep. Yeah. Okay. So I created it. I said, okay, look, here's what we're going to do. I said, we'll get you $250 a month, and I think it was 7 years it would pay off, something like that. It's all principal only, because he's getting 19, right? Not 12. So I said, okay, we'll get you $250 a month. It'll pay off in 7 years. You'll get your $19,000. I said, I think this will work pretty good. He said, okay. So I called the landlords in that 2-block radius. Got 2 of them. One says, well, what I did was I said, meet me at the property at the same time. Yeah, baby. And I said, okay, what do you think, guys? I can get you this with seller financing. It'll be, I think it was like $500 maybe, or $5 something a month would be the payment, PITI, and then you'd cash flow $300 a month.
And actually could be more if they have a HUD tenant in there. It was gonna be like another $300 on top of that.
Well, one guy says, he said, what do you want? I said, what do you have? I never give them nothing. Let them say the number. Started out at 3. The other guy said, I'll give you 4. I'll give you 5. The other guy's squirming. He's like, I'll go 6. I looked at the other guy and he's like, nah, so he can have it. $6,000 we made on that deal that the seller wanted 12.
And we gave them 19.
We gave them 19. Then, after the deal's all done, each of those 2 guys called me. You call me before you call him. Don't you call him. Each one of them said that. Now I'm just down to 1 because the one guy passed. But yeah, that's how you make money in Arizona. $6,000 on a $12,000 deal. Is that a good deal?
Yeah.
And what's the other important thing?
He didn't go there.
He didn't, well,
I didn't go there.
yeah, here's the.
Well, I said he's on the ground guy.
Yeah. Lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
It was big too.
He didn't go there.
Landlords, it'll come back around.
It's getting
It
older.
was big too. It's important too. It'll come back.
All right.
All right.
So guys, again, you've seen why you need this. Really don't know why you wouldn't do this and get it, because like I said, we're making you dangerous with what we're teaching you today. You gotta have everything to do it right, and do it legal and compliant. Let's see what else. Okay, the website, our training portal. This is a picture of the front page of it. Now, Marla is redoing it, so it's going to look a little different. It's going to look so nice, so pretty. If she keeps doing this, I'm going to have to start charging a monthly fee. But she keeps playing around with the website and creating a better looking thing. Now, up at the top here, remember, what's new? Always go to your What's New tab whenever you log in.
I should have sent you a screenshot of that too.
Yeah.
I'll have it open up here if y'all want to see.
So you can see what's new, and it's all in there chronologically, okay? So I had a guy a few months ago, he called or emailed me and he said, Johnny said, I bought the system in 2015, I haven't done anything, but I'm ready to start, what's new? And I'm like, I said, you really want me to put that into an email? You need to go to the What's New tab on the website and go back to 2015 and see what's new, you know, since then. So, but it's a really good site. It's got all of everything. I mean, there's the training manual, the training videos. What? I think it is.
It's wheeling. Okay.
It's got a screen on the table. The manual, the audios, the videos, the resources. There's almost 20 years worth of marketing pieces in